Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the JR Wisdom channel. Thank you for tuning in to another live stream here. I know it's kind of late in the evening, especially here on the East Coast. But shout out to all my subscribers and viewers. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry I'm doing this so late. Guys know I normally do this either early in the morning or afternoon, evening, things like that. But I just wanted to make time, obviously, before it became or turned into Monday morning to discuss this. What's up, Dark Manager? To discuss this thing in particular, which I know, for all you church goers and viewers, people of the cloth and all that stuff. What's up, Laquan? Is This serves as a reminder to not only myself, obviously, first and foremost, is a reminder to myself, but a reminder to everyone. Is for those of you who may not think it is so, who are leading a toxic or bitter lifestyle, or you're bitter about what someone else is, what someone else has, what has happened to you, what's been done to you, someone that's done you wrong. You just can't get over someone or something that was done to you, and it's consuming you, and this comes out in the form of trying to oppress the next person or trying to destroy the next person. And I say this because I talked about something similar, last Sunday, but it got cut off in full, so I'm going to try to touch on it, and hopefully it doesn't get cut off tonight. And that was basically you being tested with pain or pleasure, and it's also a test as well as far as what has struck you and how are you going to handle it. Some people just don't handle it, and they don't handle it in a mature way or a professional way, and they want to basically destroy someone or make someone's life a living hell. You know what I mean? Instead of taking the high road. Now, I say this all goes back to, we talk about this Hindu concept of karma, and we talk about, the universe and, God and all these things like that. But you have to realize whatever concept it is, whatever you put out there, whatever you believe in, and obviously I'm a firm believer in the Almighty. Some people call it the universe, whatever. But I'm a firm believer as, whatever it is that you put out there or you make to consume you, it will return to you. And a lot of times it's multiplied. Now, some people want to call it karma or whatever. Especially negativity or something as negative as trying to prevent someone from being the best they can be, trying to keep someone from living a peaceful life, trying to destroy someone's peace, trying to drive someone crazy. This shows you basically, and a lot of these people are people who go to church, who do these things to people, or who claim to be holy rollers, fortune cookie quoters, and religious people, but they have the devil in them. People will say they care about the Bible, they love God, but it's actually the devil they love. And they take these things and they think it's funny what they do to people, but they have no idea or no concern about the wrath that may come upon them. You know what I mean? And yeah, people do, they take joy out of being a pain in the ass for someone. But I guess people and the human beings, we are, a lot of times we walk around thinking that we are gods and nothing comes upon us, and there's no control mechanisms in place. And as I say, you treat people a certain way and you wonder why you're stagnant in life. You will forever be stagnant. And I always say, as far as you wanting your prayers answered and things like that, you want certain things to go your way in life, but what are you putting forth? What are you doing to other people? Oppressing other people is the ultimate form of evil. Bottom line is oppression, because that is the goal of the devil or someone who's a devil. And I don't look at the devil or the shayateen or shaitan or Lucifer, whatever you call it, as a metaphysical um, a metaphysical thing. I believe the devil, this concept that people talk about, resides in man. It's not a manifested. If I look outside, it's dark outside right now, and the devil is walking down the street, or the devil is right here appearing. It doesn't happen like that. And I don't fear anything like that. I don't fear the jinn or stuff like that. It's mankind who's doing this. It's mankind who's bringing pain, evil upon other fellow man, who's willing to do this. And what dark part of your heart could cause you to do this? And the ignorance of it is you don't think that it can be done to you. It can come back in one shape or form. People talk about generational curses. People say that your kids will turn out a certain way based upon, the sins of the father and all this stuff like that. Will revisit you as a child, or certain things will happen to your children based upon what you do. That's not. I don't believe in everyone being responsible for the sins of their father, as far as from a spiritual aspect. Now, as far as mankind, inflicting that, punishing someone else because of what their father did, obviously that's likely. But to sit back and say that God will punish you as far as a generational curse, I don't. We talk about the curse of, what is it? The mark of Cain. And the children of Ham, supposedly black people are descended, the children of Ham, dark skin and all the stuff like that. And we talk about that, but I don't believe, in my estimation, as much as people like to say, mankind are punished based upon the sins of your forefathers. In that aspect, you'll be punished, just like Adam, and the whole concept of Adam and Eve. But I encourage you all, anyone who's watching this, or anyone who may be doing it or on the receiving end, just know that there is a Almighty above, or that's watching everything at all times, in my opinion. It's too many things have happened to me in my life, and I've seen the way certain things have transpired and certain events have came about, to not say based upon prayer and ending up in certain places that it doesn't happen. I've seen stuff happen to people, and people want as they say, karma to happen to other people quickly. It's divine. You step outside divine law, divine legislation, that's a different story. God has forbidden oppression for people to oppress other people. Obviously, one of the biggest oppressors in history, one of the worst oppressors in history, was the Pharaoh back in Egypt. But God strictly forbid oppression, even for himself. He forbid oppression. That was one of the things. So for mankind to do so is something different. And the prophet said that even a person who's a non-believer, if they're being oppressed and they pray to God, just in one split second, and they succumb and they can't do anything else, and they pray to God, there's no barrier between their prayer and God. That's even for someone who doesn't believe at all. So anytime the oppressed, sincerely, the prayer is made to God, there's nothing stopping that prayer. It goes directly to him. So I encourage those of you who feel that you are being oppressed, that is something that you should take, even though God is obviously ultimately seeing all this. It is up to you, obviously, to put that in your prayers directly, calling upon the Almighty and asking for this to be removed, because it is forbidden, and he strictly forbid it for all human beings, and he doesn't even oppress. It's the ultimate form of evil. That's why when you hear about possessions, all of this stuff, these movies that you hear about, and you hear about these spirits possessing people, it's a sequence of events with that, and the biggest thing of that is to oppress the human spirit, which is one of the worst things and one of the worst states that you can do to someone, is breaking someone's spirit by oppressing them, which leads them to depression, can lead someone to murder someone, all of these other things. So that's the ultimate form of evil, is someone doing this to another. And if you're the one that's doing it and you don't realize you're doing it, you need to take a look at it, because anyone who does this to another person is not a happy person. If you were truly happy, you would want to see the next person happy. This is a dysfunctional person, that's doing this, that would do this to another human being. So if you can't even see the error of your ways, then you have some searching to do, especially y'all holy rollers that go to church and y'all turn around and oppress other people or want to destroy. Just turn it down. No, just turn it back on. Just twist that down. Yeah. So you have these people in the church. Sorry about that, y'all. You have these people in the church, right? Who basically wish evil, say they pray to God, but really some of them are devil worshipers, in my opinion. They worship the devil. They are involved in black magic and other stuff, but they'll sit there in the pews and ask for somebody to pray for them. What's up, JJ Redwood? You'll ask for someone to pray for you, or like I said last Sunday, you conduct yourself in a manner where you're destroying someone, right? But when you're beset with something or something falls upon you, you want somebody to pray for you, right? Or you're asking God, why are you doing this to me? Why are you destroying me? And you don't have anyone smart to tell you, maybe you need to stop doing this. They won't tell you that. They'll just tell you to keep praying. But a smart individual, a spiritual person, would ask you, okay, you need to look at your life. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to look at your life. How are you living your life? Are you living your life? Are you serving people? Are you trying to destroy someone? What has caused this to befall you? And a lot of you that may be watching this, if you're in hard times, that's one of the first things you need to do, is you need to look at your life. And are you one of those who are trying to, wipe someone out? How do you go to sleep at night? If you're consumed to the point where your life is stuck on destroying someone or the get back, if you do believe, what's going to happen on that day when you're questioned, when you're assembled on that plane on this day of judgment? But you might suffer your own fate in this world, as I say. It doesn't always take for you to make it to the afterlife for that. You will suffer your own fate here for those who participate in that behavior, which you'll never be blessed in that lifetime. Same people who forsake someone in their lives, who don't take care of their kids, they'll never be blessed. And a lot of you have friends who don't take care of their kids and stuff like that, who don't look, and you're perfectly fine hanging out with people who don't take care of their kids, their parents, anyone, but they'll never be blessed. People like this will never, even if it is a blessing, they're not going to appreciate it, and they'll destroy themselves in the process anyway. So, this is something that's just a reminder, like I said, for myself, and a reminder to you all. Get your affairs in order, because you could be gone tomorrow. You could definitely be gone tonight. And the last thing you did, you just got through oppressing someone or making their life a living hell. And all of a sudden, it may be at this point where God had enough of your ass and decided to take you from this earth. And your family's messed up in the process. then everyone, a lot of times you see people on the news and stuff like that, and they die a horrible death, or they die in a certain manner, and people are like, oh, this is so sad, what happened to such and such, but you don't know such and such story. You don't know what such and such has done. You don't know what such and such did put forth in their life early on. But we tend to paint these pictures and illustrate someone that they were like the most perfect human beings, and a lot of people will go to their grave believing that they're perfect human beings and that they should be exalted as such. But that's not fact. And such arrogance, there's no room for arrogance in the kingdom of God. That's why I pulled back from the black church, not spirituality, but just the churches, because this car is jumping. I'm trying to read what she said. Churches, because of all the fuckery that I saw going down within, and that's still going. I just shake my head. Damn shame, man. I used to be in the choir and all. One day I just took a step back. Just felt like when he found out that he shot the policewoman on the wire. Yeah. Church, don't get me wrong. I think church is good for motivation. If you can't motivate yourself and you need some uplifting words, by all means. But there are devils in there are devils in churches, there are devils in mosques, there's devils all over, walking in the street. There's devils wherever you go at. And it's basically this concept is a disease of the heart. These people have diseased hearts. These people who do this to other people, they have diseased hearts. Some of these people even oppress themselves. As I said, they oppress themselves to the point where they can't even get outside. They can't even get out their own way. They can't get out of their own way, and they're punishing themselves in the process, and they may or may not know it. You want to punish yourself in the process, thinking you're hurting someone. They'll shoot themselves. If you were behind them, they would shoot themselves in the chest just to hit you. If you were standing behind them, anything to destroy someone. So just beware of that. And I encourage everyone just put forth good. As hard as it may seem, you'll see a big change in your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming at it on some preaching stuff, really, but if you look at what if you got to lose? Why would you want to make someone, even if you hate that person, why would you want someone to be hurt, to be messed up? You know what I mean? Why would you want that? For that? How is that making your life better? And I'm into, you shouldn't concern yourself or involve yourself in anything unless it's making your life better. And this is what we fail to realize. But know your conduct, you will be compensated or recompensated accordingly based upon your conduct and the treatment of your fellow man, no matter who that may be. So, just wanted to get that off. This has been my little Sunday sermon. I know I got on kind of late. Everybody's probably out, but I guess y'all will catch it here. Who's ever watching it later. So, that being said, I appreciate all y'all who are tuning in, who have tuned in. You know what I mean? Since 2009, at your uncle's funeral, you haven't been to church. Yeah, that's the only time I go to church is for funerals. Also, but yeah. Hey man, I try to, man, because I try to speak on stuff that is either affecting me or has been related to me, and I see the things, not see the things like, stuff that people I know that's affecting them, and I just see a lot of these patterns being replayed over and over. And some people just don't get it. They just don't get it. Like, what's my man's name in Gladiator? The Emperor Commodus. When Commodus was basically just doing all of this, he was just doing the most in the movie. As far as, trying to oppress his sister, trying to sleep with his sister, basically he did all this to Maximus. He basically killed all of Maximus's family, killed his father, put Maximus into slavery. Maximus comes back, and they were saying, like, this guy just doesn't know when to quit. He just doesn't know, he just doesn't know when what to do when he's defeated. Like, what more do you want? You know what I mean? What more do you want? Because once you get it, it's, where does that leave your soul at the end of the day? And it's so much with this stuff. It's so much collateral damage when people doing this stuff. Property, children, especially with children. That's the worst. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff you see is with family issues or family court or divorce. This is where you see the worst of people. But it shouldn't be that way. Some people never grow up, or some people are just consumed by this, whatever this force is, this ego, this narcissism, this I don't know, this spirit. And what makes it even worse is when these people have supporters or fan clubs who egg them on to do certain things, and there's a lot of times there's no voice of reason. Was raised in the South, typically Southern Baptist, baptized and everything, but today I claim non-denominational. Yeah. You don't have to do any of that, man. Like I said, church is motivational, whatever. That same book that man reads is the same book you can read. This man, these people calling themselves prophets and, all of these other titles they're giving themselves, apostles and prophets, and you're just reading a book that's already been translated several times, and all of this other stuff. You can do this. You can do this on your own. Be a free thinker, Pimps in the pulpit. Go order your shirt tonight. I feel you. Belief is a feeling, I just concern myself a lot of time. I concern myself about that get back, that return, that recompense. Every action that I do to people, I think about what's going to happen to me, or whatever I do that I perceive to be negative. I'm like, I know it's going to come back on me. Yeah, it's going to come back on me. I don't ever want to do anything that any shape or anything to oppress anyone. That's why I really don't mess with too many people. And I mean mess as far as associate with too many people. Stick to myself. Because the intentions of people is just like, you never know. That awake, I went through my spiritual journey. You realize that, just be conscious of your decisions and how you treat people is just the biggest thing. The prophet said, even be mindful of how you treat animals. Even how you treat animals, because even on the day of judgment, you're going to be subject to the question of how you treated animals. Even loading down a camel or a mule with too much weight, you're going to be It's all these things. You know, it's all these things. But it always, if you watch certain people who you've known to practice evil or to oppress other people, you see how they turn out eventually. Some of these people probably had money once upon a time and now they're a bum on the street. Or they're in jail. You know. Or some people don't take care of their kids and they grow up and their kids don't want to have anything to do with them. And they blame it on their kids. It's not their fault. You know. When their light is died out and, you know, no one else wants to be in their life, that time is over. It is do unto others definitely as you would have do unto you, but sometimes you just have to be, I don't know, man. I guess that's why sometimes the human mind to me is just so fascinating, because of what people do. Let me see what you just said. Okay. This is interesting. Hey, what's happening, Reginald? So you say the next king of Israel is about to be revealed, and he's God's true people, his afflicted African American. So the next king of Israel is going to be African American. I got you. I guess that's another topic in itself. Yeah, just if you practice this concept, not this concept, but if you practice this and you believe it and your intentions are there, then your life is gonna completely change. So that being said, I'm gonna catch you guys later. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next live streaming video. Alright? So see you guys then. I'm out. Alright? Peace.